This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Right now, we have to Sleaze, brought to you by McDonald's. Support local business owners and entrepreneurs in your neighborhood by visiting a nearby McDonald's today.
This story is really becoming very sad. Less than 24 hours after credible reports of their separation, Nicole Kidman has filed for divorce from Keith Urban. This is one of those becoming he said, she said, where who wants to control the narrative? You know, each camp is leaking stuff every day. Yeah, in the divorce filings, Nicole cited irreconcilable differences and requested to be the primary residential parent for their children. And I guess that was already discussed. The children will spend 306 days with Nicole and 59 days with Keith. That sounds crazy.
I think for the record, she's got a better publicist because she seems to be winning the public opinion game. Whether the things that are leaking or that are out are real or not, she seems to be on the winning side. Would you agree or not?
Yeah, and it's very sad because, you know, I know Keith. I've interviewed Keith, and he's always been very protective of her, especially speaking out about her. And that's why I wanted to address, you know, some of the audio that's coming out. Back in July, he was on this radio show, Haley and Max in the Morning. It got really uncomfortable when he took part in a radio game called Wall of Truth.
What does Keith Urban think when he sees his beautiful wife with beautiful younger men like Zac Efron having these beautiful love scenes on TV and radio? Oh, why has that happened? What's just happened to you?
He's disconnected from Zoom.
Did he just hang up on us?
I think his team hung up on us because they didn't want us to ask that question.
Really?
Yeah, that's 100%.
Were we told not to ask that?
No.
Well, remember, that was the thing I was saying. I don't know how he deals with that. That's interesting that is out there, that he hung up on it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is resurfacing. But I think, you know, he is very protective of her and has been and just didn't want to go there. And I think sometimes, look, you and I always, when we have a publicist say, don't ask this question, don't ask that question, most people just go there. And that's what happened. He hung up.
Well, and I think that people doing the interview have the right to go there. I don't think any publicist should be able to tell any interviewer, let the person handle it. It's not, you know, like they've gotten themselves in that situation for some reason, and they need to face it.
Then maybe don't do interviews.
Yeah, or don't do interviews. But if he knew he was going on a game called Wall of Truth.
Yeah, that one's pretty sticky.
I mean, you know you're going to get something hot.
I thought this was interesting, though. Nicole Kidman and Elle Fanning are teaming up for a legal thriller. It's a series called Discretion, based on a short story by best-selling author Chandler. It almost seems like the work just keeps coming for Nicole.
Yeah, everything.
Because if you remember, you had like 9 Perfect Strangers, Lioness on Paramount Plus, The Perfect Couple, remember, on Netflix, something that hasn't even come out yet on Prime Video, Scarpetta, and then potentially that 3rd season of Big Little Lies. She wrapped up Practical Magic 2. Wow.
Well, so she hasn't seen Keith Urban in 2 years anyway. So, I mean, there are cases for both sides. You can see it.
I thought this was interesting. You know, Bunny, who's married to Jelly Roll, she's got this podcast called Dumb Blonde. She's had some great guests on, but she talked about like a rough first encounter with Jewel. I guess a chance meeting at a casino left her disappointed after Jewel kind of reluctantly agreed to take a photo with her. But now she's kind of turned around on her thinking about that.
When I met Jewel, this was when the Palms was huge in Vegas. And I think I was like leaving Ghost Bar or something. It was in the middle of the night, 2:00 in the morning. She's walking in the casino by herself. And I'm walking out of this club and I see Jewel. And then this is like when she was huge and like, I couldn't believe it. And I was just like, oh my God, Jewel. And she was like, you know, like she had gotten caught. And I was just like, hey, can we take a picture? And she was like, rolled her eyes and goes, one picture right now, right here. And I was like, you know what? It's okay. And I ended up leaving her and I left that that encounter with her for the longest time for years, I was like, dude, Jewel was a you know?
But way back then, you didn't have to worry about all the social explosions, so I think you were more apt to just be like, it's the middle of the night. Who knew, what she was going to do? That's a tough one.
Yeah, she says years later now she recognizes that fame and personal struggles may have influenced that moment. Now, you and I have talked about the Ozzy Osbourne No Escape from Now that will be released next week on Paramount Plus. It's about the final 6 years of Ozzy's life, that documentary. But did you know there's another documentary, a BBC documentary called Ozzy and Sharon Coming Home? I guess it's about when the Osbournes moved back to their home in England.
Was always referred to this as home.
It looks magnificent stuff.
You can't be him without people staring. He's Ozzy Osbourne.
I always told Ozzy, when you're 70, we say goodbye.
I can't wait till I'm there.
What are you most looking forward to?
Doing absolutely nothing.
Do you want a quiet life now?
No. Yes, but no.
Man, she gets all the applause for being that so ahead of the game. Everything to do with him and all that money they made was her.
And it's a completely different doc. That's going to premiere in the UK this week. Don't know when it's going to show up here, but of course you know it will.
I mean, she was the daughter of a major concert promoter in the UK?
She was. There needs to be a documentary about her.
Yeah, no, it really should be. Behind the scenes, she was a maestro.
Let's keep it on the music front. Billy Corgan was on with Bill Maher, Real Talk, kind of elaborating about what is important, especially his family.
Only unconditional love in some facet of your life gives you the proper perspective to appreciate what is great about transactional things, but allows you to see them for what they are, which is transactional. There's no Valhalla at the top of Rock Mountain. There isn't. And I've been there multiple times.
Right.
So when I stand in front of 65,000 people, in my hierarchical mind, my family is still above that.
Right, sure.
I tell my kids all the time, and they're still little kids, and hopefully it'll endure in their brain, because they'll come see me play. They'll come on stage with me. I mean, we pull up to where the Mets play in New York, and my daughter goes, "How many people am I going to dance in front of today?" And I said, "Well, 41,000. She goes, "Okay." And then an hour later, she's on stage with me dancing in front of 40,000 people. But I tell them over and over again, no matter what you see Daddy do, no matter what you hear about Daddy, good or bad, you're more important than that. You are so much more important than that to me. I would trade all of this for you.
Did we ever think we would hear so much from Billy Corgan?
No.
He's all over the place. That is your Celebrity Sleaze.
Start your day with America in the Morning.
I'm John Trout, your host.
From Breaking News.
The U.S. Supreme Court with rulings. Shifting gears, Apple has released a new iPhone. Here's the Wednesday Business Report. It's far from a seller's market.
To politics and entertainment.
Moving into scary movie season, so why not another Conjuring movie? Shifting gears, Powerball jackpot is now the third largest ever in history.
Live long and prosper.
America in the Morning.
Fresh each day.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.